Hello guys, welcome to the Oddspedia channel. We have our first Champions League semi-final. Leipzig PSG on Tuesday. Two German managers head-to-head to look for a place in the great final in Lisbon. Something that would be historical for both clubs. The humble against the millionaires. The team against the stars. Who will prevail, Leipzig or PSG? Let's check out now the odds, the stats, and take a look at the prediction for this Leipzig PSG. Bayern or Olympique Lyon will be waiting in the final. Two young German managers have led their teams to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Two very different styles. Two very different projects, but the same goal right now, playing their first Champions League final of the history of these clubs. And the history between these two managers go far behind. It was in 2006 when Tuchel was the manager of Augsburg. At that time, a young 19-year-old boy was having a little bit of problems with the injuries and decided to start making reports of the rival tactics. This young boy was Julan Nagelsmann, and now, 14 years later, coach and assistant fight for a spot in the Champions League final. What a story. Also, PSG fans had to be patient. They've waited 25 years to see their team in the semi-finals of the Champions League. It was in 1995 when they played in this round. It was against AC Milan, and of course they lost against that great team. Legen, Rai, Ginola or George Weah were some of the players in that squad for PSG. Now, after so many millions spent, Tuchel was able to succeed and lead the team until here. They saw though many goals in their quarter-final match against Atalanta, but they were lucky. Neymar and Mbappe were able to lead an amazing comeback in the last 5 minutes of the game. Tuchel survived at that time one of the best coaches I think right now in Europe. I'm talking about Gasperini's offensive tactics with Atalanta. He almost knocked out the French champions. And now Tuchel faces Julian Nagelsmann, only 33 years old, and he will be managing a team in the semifinals of the Champions League. A club, if we remember, that only 15 years ago didn't exist. I'm talking about Leipzig. And now they are among the best teams of the continent. Amazing success. This is a great strategy and an example for many clubs in Europe. Nagelsmann was able to overcome Simeone's defensive tactics in the quarterfinal. And Leipzig, I think, was overall much better than Atletico Madrid in that game. They had to wait though until the very last minutes to see the winner. It was Adams, the American football player, who scored that very important goal in Leipzig history. Now they are really the underdogs in these semifinals, but they wouldn't be a surprise anymore, in my opinion, if they beat PSG. Of course, this is the very first time that both clubs meet in an official game. They only played a friendly game back in 2014, with Leipzig winning that game 4-2. But for sure it would be a surprise for the bookies if Leipzig get to the final. Let's check now the best odds for this PSG Leipzig on oddspedia.com. And we can see that PSG, of course, are great favorites in the full-time result. This is no surprise for us. We find odds 1.82 for PSG victory, 420 for the draw, and 475 for Leipzig. interesting odds in my opinion, and really favorite PSG, but still the odds for the victory of the Parisian team are not that low, but are lower of course if we see the odds to qualify to the final. We find Leipzig 3.10 and PSG 1.40. It's not a bad idea, I would say, to put some money on Leipzig there. And now we can also check the 2.5 goals market. Over is here 1.77 and under is 2.28. A Champions League semi-final game should be very tight, especially playing it in a very single game. But if we've learned something by now, is that these teams are really well known for offensive football. So the over market here is very interesting, especially we are seeing a lot of goals in these finals in Lisbon. They've played 9 games in this Champions League edition. 6 out of the 9 had over 2.5 goals, both for Leipzig and PSG games. So that would be an interesting bet also to take a close eye on the over 2.5 market. And finally, let's check another interesting market here. 1.69 odds for both teams to score and 2.25 for no. And if you are enjoying these videos, please click the subscribe button to our channel. And do not forget to click on the bell to get the notifications whenever we publish new videos. Also, thumbs up for the video if you are loving it. And just a reminder that you can listen to all our videos on our Spotify podcast. You can find the link below. Some interesting facts that you should know ahead of this game. This is the first Champions League semi-final in 25 years for PSG and the first in the history for Leipzig. Of course, none of them has ever played a Champions League final. So this is gonna be historic. PSG have scored in all the games of this season in the Champions League. That's good offensive tactics. And Leipzig have only failed to score in 1 game. It was against Olympique Lyon, their only defeat in the Champions League of this season. Adams' match-winning goal for Leipzig was the first one scored by an American football player in the quarterfinals or later stages of the Champions League. That's nailed a good and important goal. And no German side outside of Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund has reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League since, guess who? Schalke in 2010-2011 with Raúl, for instance, in that squad. And if we don't take in consideration games going to extra time, PSG is the 4th team to make a comeback while losing in the injury time. Other games were Man United against Bayern Munich in that amazing final at Camp Nou, Bayern also against Chelsea in 2005, and Borussia Dortmund against Malaga in 2013 are the other examples of amazing comebacks. Obviously, PSG are big favorites here, as we could see in the odds on Oddspedia.com, but the odds are not bad for the French team to win this game. Not low at all, in my opinion, to see 1.82 odds, especially taking in consideration Neymar's level. What a game he did on the quarterfinals. Absolutely astonishing. And also the good minutes played by Kylian Mbappé, who should be completely fit for the semi-finals clash. On the other hand, we have Leipzig, who really surprised me how they control the game against Atletico de Madrid. Also, by then, big favorites, and for sure, PSG and Leipzig especially, they learn from Atalanta how to create problems to the French squad. Taking in consideration the many surprises we are seeing in this Champions League, I wouldn't risk going here for PSG, especially taking in consideration these odds. I wouldn't discard a German victory here at all. This is why my bet is going to be on the both teams to score market. Both are offensive teams and they got identical results in the quarterfinals draw. We also learned that they've scored in almost every single game of this Champions League edition. And we find odds in oddspedia.com of 1.69 for the yes in the both teams to score market. So that would be my bet. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. And please, let's have fun with these Champions League semifinals.